When I was 14, I planned my wedding.
This one's wife. 5 brutal warnings for this one's wife. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Paul Withers explains to us in the Express that this one's wife has been sent 5 huge warnings. What are they? And more importantly, are they warnings that she will take notice of? Prince Harry and this one's wife have been sent 5 huge warnings about how they could be perceived following a brutal Hollywood mocking. Last year, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were brutally mocked in episodes of South Park and Family Guy, and were also branded some of Hollywood's biggest losers by an outlet widely regarded as the Bible of showbiz. See Parts Passim for the impact that has upon this one's wife. Earlier this month, the couple were also embarrassed by a joke made to the Golden Globes audience and millions of viewers around the world by host and comedian Joe Coy. Again, being the butt of a joke is not something that this one's life wants or likes. She lacks a sense of humour. She believes herself to be important, serious, and somebody that should be taken with seriousness. She, of course, regards herself as hugely important, and all of you underlings and plebs ought to understand that, don't you know? Taking the piss out of her is, of course, challenge fuel and does not go down well with her. She fails to understand the humour that's involved, and rather than just take it in her stride, thinking, well, this is the price one pays for fame and fortune, she gets bent out of shape about it, stamping a cloven hoof, flinging around some crockery in the Monty-Shit-Show mansion. Now, Harry and this one's wife have been warned by an entertainment expert about what impact this could all have on any future projects, particularly any plans related to Hollywood. Mark Boardman, founder of Mark Meets, told the Daily Express the impact of an incident where Prince Harry and this one's wife are mocked on future projects and plans related to Hollywood can vary, depending on several factors. 1. Public perception. The public's reaction to any mocking will play a crucial role, and being made in front of their peers at the Golden Globes is a worry for the couple. If the majority of the audience views it negatively, it might pose challenges for future projects. However, if they effectively address the situation, public sentiment could shift, so they need to be more vocal and defend their actions and prove their worth moving forward. Except this one's wife isn't going to do that. It's certainly the case that the mocking that they experience impacts negatively upon them, because the majority of people find it amusing and accurate. This demonstrates them to be both figures of ridicule, which of course contrasts with this one's wife wanting to be taken extremely seriously. Rather than address the behaviours that they engage in, which form the basis of the ridicule, namely, get your head down, work hard, do things which are decent, stop being seen as grifters, stop complaining, stop being victims, stop taking potshots at other people, stop telling lies, she won't do that. First of all, her narcissism sees there's nothing wrong with her behaviour to begin with. It's all of you that don't get it. She is right every single time. Everybody else fails to understand her and gets it wrong, and thus they're haters, they're nasty, they take the piss when they're being cruel and awful. They ought not to do it. She sees no reason whatsoever to remedy her behaviour because her narcissism does not let her see that she is the problem. Thus, why on earth would you ever correct something when you're utterly incapable of seeing that you're the problem? Her narcissism tells her, it's not you, it's them. You've done the right thing. They just can't handle you. They're envious of you. They want to be you, and this is their reaction because of their boring little lives. Thus, the things that are needed to effectively address the situation, which might, although I still see it as far too gone in that regard, might cause public sentiment to shift, she's never going to do because she can never acknowledge and recognise that she is the problem. Number 2, industry perception. How Hollywood insiders, including producers, directors and fellow actors, perceive the couple in light of the incident can influence future opportunities. Positive relationships within the industry are crucial for securing projects, but this one's wife seems to have dissociated herself with her own suit's cast. Once again, many of these power players, the producers, the directors, other actors, the A-listers, regard them as a joke couple. People distance themselves from them because they see that 1, they've no talent, 2, they're professional whingers, 3, they're unpleasant individuals to their family. Why on earth would you want to be associated with them? You can't take them seriously. Furthermore, this one's wife behaves as if she belongs. She believes that she is amongst the A-list, which of course insults those who are already there. They look at her and think how presumptuous of her to believe that she is part of our gang, and thus it causes them all the more to reject her. 3, brand image. The incident may indeed lessen their brand image, which is critical if they are seeking to collaborate with public figures. Of course, their brand image can be summed up with this sound. And that is not going to be changing anytime soon. Number 4, handling of the situation. The way Prince Harry and this one's wife handled the aftermath of the incident can significantly impact their future prospects. And all too often, we see no comment. This is the haughty, high-handed nature of this one's wife. She believes she is above all of these things. Yes, she'll complain about them behind closed doors, but her narcissism says, you don't need to make a comment, you don't need to explain yourself to these people. They're nobodies. They ought not to be entitled to any kind of explanation from you. No. The expert suggests a thoughtful response, coupled with continued professionalism, could mitigate potential negative effects. Indeed it could, but not for this one's wife. She doesn't do thoughtful responses. She doesn't do professionalism. Number 5, public relations efforts. Strategic public relations efforts can also play a role in shaping the narrative. And I still say Prince Harry and this one's wife need a new team and someone to handle crisis PR. How well they manage the fallout, communicate with the public and engage with their audience can definitely influence the trajectory of their Hollywood careers. Well, once again, of course, they don't handle the fallout. They don't communicate with the public. They don't communicate. This one's wife is always set to send. She just tells people this is how it is, throwing around the bland word salad and fridge magnet platitudes. She doesn't listen. She's a poor listener because she already knows it all. 5 brutal warnings that have been given to this one's wife, but she isn't going to pay heed to any of them because her narcissism simply won't let her, because she doesn't see that anything's wrong with what she does, doesn't see that there's any room for improvement, and her narcissism always tells her she knows better than anybody else. And thus, this failure to listen, this failure to act, this failure to take appropriate mitigating steps is why she is just ultimately going to return to obscurity. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.